All right, so the last thing we needed to be totally legal and South Dakota residents and get tags and everything was to get the bus weighed again, because we had its empty weight, which is really, we had the bus weighed initially when we had just a few things in it that technically satisfied it as an RV. Probably everything that we had in there that wasn't the RV itself, that wasn't the bus, probably added up to a couple 100 pounds maybe. Just got the bus weighed at a Flying J here in Rapid City. About to get the bus weighed. I have no idea how to use this cat scale. This is gonna be fun. Hi there. I've got a RV on the scales.
What's your first name?
Zach?
Zach?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, bud. Pull up. Come on in.
Thank you. Oh, that was actually really easy. We just got the paperwork, and it looks like our gross weight is 20,380, which is a little heavier than I was expecting. I was expecting 17 or 18,000, but we're still a solid, I mean, over 10,000 pounds under the gross vehicle weight rating.
So this is what you get when you go to a cat scale thing, and it was really easy, right?
Yeah, and so it gives you 4 weights. It gives you the steer axle, drive axle, and trailer axle.
Which we don't have a trailer.
We don't have a trailer, so. But yeah, so pretty easy. Good stuff. And that's it. Just got the tags for the bus in South Dakota. No more waiting, no more bureaucracy, no more red tape. That's it. It is done. And it feels really good.
All right, go checklist. Cap the chimney. Lock all the cabinets. Lock all the drawers. Secure the fridge. Secure the chairs. Secure the bathroom door. Cutting board. Secure blue boxes. Close roof fan. Close roof exit. Lock back door. Lock garage door. Is the roof deck clear? Turn off the water pump. Empty stow dog bowls. Clear countertops. Is the temperature gauge inside? Bedroom shelves are clear. Stow heat fan.
So the first night after first leg of our trip away from the Black Hills and the cold in South Dakota, we're still in South Dakota, but we got pretty far yesterday. We traveled, what, 5 hours? So we stayed at a truck stop tonight, and it was 23 degrees in the bus when we woke up.
Because we didn't have a fire going. We thought it would be a bad idea to have a fire going next to all these
fueling station and
trucks carrying
flammable
explosive stuff.
So we figured
It'd
that might
be fine, but we just didn't want to concern anyone.
Yeah, it wouldn't do anything, but we didn't want anybody to knock on the door, and it makes sense. So instead, we're using something we got recently. Our little buddy, our tough buddy. Space heater.
But we did not have that going at night, or it would have been warm.
Yeah, it would actually. It
does a pretty good job.
It does a good job. We got it since our last staying warm in South Dakota video, because we realized, well, our electric heater went out on us, and if we're in a situation like this and we can't use the wood stove, we need some other form of backup. And a lot of people had recommended the Mr. Heater Buddy, an indoor propane heater. I know Living Zeal uses it, and they loved it, or used it before they moved to Hawaii. And so far, yeah, I'm loving it too. It's great. Right now we're just using the small camping propane canisters, but we have a large propane canister with all the fittings, so once we get a good situation where we can mount that somewhere, we can use that and keep it going for a lot longer. But yeah, but things are good. We got some really good sleep last night. Truck stops they're not the most glamorous places, but they're
great.
They're awesome.
Yeah, it's in a lit parking lot, and it's free, and you can run inside and get supplies or use the bathroom or something.
Yeah, there are a lot worse places to stay overnight. All that to say, things are good. We're on our way. Onward. So we are on our way south from South Dakota to spend time with family in Alabama. We're hoping to get there by Thanksgiving. The reason why we were in South Dakota to begin with, and why we were freezing our butts off up there, and why we continue to freeze our butts off while we're on our way down, is because we were trying to take advantage of South Dakota's relationship with full-timers. Full-time RVers have 3 states, really you can choose most any state, but there are 3 states that full-time travelers tend to like to have their permanent residence in, and those tend to be South Dakota, Florida, and Texas. You can choose Florida and Texas for a variety of reasons, but we chose South Dakota because we primarily hang out in the West. That's where most of the BLM land is that we'll be camping on, and so that's where we're going to be spending most of our time. We've also never been to South Dakota before, and we've heard nice things about it, so we figured that it would be pretty cool to go and see South Dakota, be permanent residents there, and go back there whenever we want to and whenever we feel like it. So that's what we were trying to take advantage of. But the problem is that we bought a Subaru in Colorado. We tried to only register that Subaru in South Dakota instead of Colorado, so we didn't have to pay taxes in both states. Unfortunately, unbeknownst to us, South Dakota requires an original title for the Subaru in order to issue plates. Well, we didn't have that because the car is being financed. And so basically what had to happen, Colorado had to convert a digital title to a paper title, send it to our lien holder, and then send it to the treasurer's office in our county in South Dakota where we have our residency. The problem with that was that it takes 4 to 6 weeks typically for that to happen. And that was not in our plans. We wanted to be in South Dakota for a few days, get our plates, get legal, and then head south.
But it ended up being a full month. As soon as we got all of that resolved, we were like, okay, we got lucky, we got some good weather, we got to get south now.
The plan from the beginning was not to have the bus in a winter camping scenario. We intended from the very beginning to snowbird. We were going to kind of go with the season, stay in, fairly moderate temperatures. Not, it doesn't have to be summer the whole time, but, we wanted to kind of stay out of the frigid winter areas. And because it took so long to get our title in South Dakota, we stayed there longer than we really intended to, and now it's catching up with us.
So now, after the truck stop, we had our third leg of the trip, and we made it to Pisgah, Iowa, which is a tiny little town by the Loess Hills State Forest. It's really beautiful.
It's a little northeast of Omaha, Nebraska.
It got even colder since we've been here.
We're in
Pisgah, P-I-S-G-A-H, Pisgah, Iowa.
We decided to stop here and stay for a couple days because it was snowing, and there's one day that is really cold that we have to ride out with 30-40 mile an hour winds.
The high is 25. I can't feel my hand.
Yeah, that's today. High is 25. The low is getting down to 12 tonight.
So we've done it again, but we're hoping this is the last of it. We gotta get south.
We gotta get south so it's not so damn cold.
Oh my god. Honestly, it's the coldest I think I've ever felt in my life, because it's not just about that number, it's about that wind chill and the humidity. But the important thing I think we've learned from all of this is what's too low for us,
That's right, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, if the lows at night are in the 30s, and the bus will be okay as long as we can have our heater going. 30s, no problem. But if we get below that, we start going in the 20s and teens, and then things get pretty chilly. We are warm at night. The dogs are warm at night, but the issue comes with all of our systems in the bus. So start to get concerned about the water pump, start to get concerned about the tanks on the inside. They've only frozen once. They froze on a 9-degree night. And I think we'd be ready for that again if it happened again. Last night got down to 12 and nothing froze. So that was good. But we have had some issues.
Our gray tank is frozen.
Oh, God.
So we're
Our gray tanks are frozen.
We can't use our sink right now.
Or else it might back up.
We can use the faucet, but so we've got our big pots in the bottom of the sink collecting water when we do dishes and stuff. It's a little bit of a mess. We ended up staying at this campground, which is a really great campground. It's only $10 a night. They have hot showers. They have free firewood for you.
Yeah.
Electrical.
We stopped in Pisgah because that was just the next leg of our trip. We wanted to stop before we hit Omaha because we were going to hit Omaha at rush hour. We were like, you know what? Let's stop a little beforehand, hit it the next day. Looking at the weather forecast, there was some snow in the forecast, some high winds. We said, yeah, you know what? We are able to stay for longer. Let's stay for longer. We are flexible. Let's take advantage of that. And so we did. We've been here for, I guess, 2 days now. And it's been great. It's been fine, except for it being pretty chilly.
Yeah, I don't want to be outside of the bus for more than 30 seconds. Like, it's like seriously miserable outside.
And it's funny, like we've camped in really cold weather. We've hiked in really cold weather. It's colder than this technically, but there's something about that wind and that the water in the air, the humidity that just
it feels like
biting.
Just ice on your
It's
face.
You're just not used to it.
It's just it's unbearable. I'm
So
just
anyway.
being honest. So we haven't been hiking. Today we thought we were going to do a hike and failed because it was so cold, but we do all pile in the car, and the dogs have a bed in the back and can get cozy, and we crank the heater, and we've been driving around and seeing what Iowa has to offer, which is really a lot. Like, it's a beautiful part of the country that I don't think we ever would have seen if we weren't doing this.
No, we wouldn't have seen, certainly not this area, but it's been nice to just be able to sort of explore, to drive around, take dirt roads, have no idea where they're going. We've passed some really gorgeous farmland. We just stopped, take photos.
We've seen so many hawks and a bald eagle, and we saw, last night we saw a fireball
Oh
go
yeah,
across the sky, which
yeah.
was
We
really
were
cool.
we were driving back from somewhere in Nebraska, and we saw this huge flash in the sky. It was streaking coming down. I was like, oh my, was that a firework that was really close? And we were on a turn when it happened. And we were like, no, that was really far away. So we saw a fireball. We saw a meteor or a meteorite. I should know that. I don't know. I think a meteorite is when it hits the ground. And it probably did, but we'll say a meteor.
Nerd.
Yeah. We saw a meteor. That was really cool.
It was cool.
Apparently it's a thing that happens here a lot. There's just a lot of sky. So I guess you see that a lot. Anyway, that was super cool.
So yeah, even here we've seen some cool stuff. We've checked out the little town we're in. They have literally one general store with no produce and one restaurant and one bar. But, you know, that's all you really need. And
Especially the bar.
especially the bar.
But things are good. We're hitting the road again tomorrow. We're going to try to get south of Kansas City tomorrow and try to make some good progress. Weather's still cold, but supposed to be okay. Winds are going to die down a little bit. So the bus has been doing great so far. It has started for us a couple times in some, sub-freezing temperatures, and diesels don't like to do that. But our 20-year-old DT466 seems to be on point.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Super, super happy about that. So hopefully that keeps going. But anyway, things are good. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye. That was good.
Yeah.